We are live.
We're live, Senate appropriations, maybe second, we're going through. Yeah, three bills that we have in here that we clear the deck, so we can adjourn. First one's 5, 6, 7. Actually called the treasurer omnibus bill. We went through it before. We were holding it because we had some questions about part of it, but those questions have been cleared up. So I don't know if anybody wants to discuss it. Yes.
I'll just say that I had a conversation with Treasurer Echek, and my concerns were satisfied. So if there isn't discussion, I'd be happy.
The only thing that, does anybody else have any questions about the bill or remember what we're talking about? If you remember, the only thing that's in the bill is a change from the House is an amendment that finance did on study on the higher ed trust fund. We have a study in the bill, in the budget as proposed by the House to make a study about the higher ed trust fund. They're similar but different. So in the budget, we're going to take Senator Hardy's amendment and combine those two so that her things that she wanted to study will be included. So we need to remove this. So I was going to have Ledge Council Attorney Wood explain the maneuvering that we're going to do so people know, and then we can vote on it.
For the record, Cameron Wood, Office of Legislative Counsel. So as was mentioned, there's only one proposal of amendment to what the House sent over at this point, adding in the report from the Senate Finance Committee. So I have had a few conversations about the potential best way of not agreeing with the additional section that was being added to the Senate Finance so that you can concur in the House bill. And then it doesn't have to go back to the House for the House to review your proposal of amendment. And so, in working with the Senate Secretary's office, apologies. Got that, of course. Yeah. The recommendation was for this committee to put forth a report on the bill. And so you can see it's the Committee on Appropriations, to which was referred House Bill 567. Respectfully reports that it's considered the same and recommends that the bill ought to pass in concurrence without the proposal of amendment from the Committee on Finance. So this committee would stand up, you would offer this report, and then ultimately, if the body refused to agree with the proposal of amendment from the Finance Committee, then at that point you would just be concurring in the House passed bill.
And we can do that even if the body's already voted on their report that includes the amendment? Or do we have to do this before they vote on that?
So you would, the reports would go in order. The Senate Government Operations, as my understanding, the Senate Government Operations would give their report of the bill. The Senate Finance Committee would stand up, give their report, including the new section that they want to offer. Then this committee would give its report, and your report would be to reject the proposal of amendment from the Finance
And that
Committee.
would be the first vote of those three reports.
What I don't, and from the Secretary, I don't know that you would have to necessarily vote on this. It would just be
Vote on.
your recommendation is to not agree with that proposal and to pass the bill in concurrence. And so then I think the first vote you would get to would be the Senate Finance Committee's amendment vote.
We should just think about it down.
Correct. But you may want to double check that with the Secretary's office, but.
Didn't they withdraw their amendment?
That was discussed.
So that's what I asked, and I had a conversation, and I don't mean to give a bunch of, hearsay in here from this conversation with the Secretary. You may want to see if he could come in and explain any questions you have. My understanding from the office was that was problematic to have them withdraw it. So there was discussion, you could have somebody from the Senate Finance Committee offer a substitute amendment, that is possible, but
Yeah.
ultimately you could just vote down their recommendation. Would be seem to be the most straightforward thing to do.
But this was the cleanest one.
Yeah.
So we can entertain a motion to pass the bill favorably.
So
All right. Senator Brewer,
yes.
Senator Brennan, yes. Senator Lyman.
Yes.
Senator Norris.
Yes.
Senator Watson.
Yes.
Senator Westman.
Yes.
Senator Kirchler.
Yes, now I can report.
I'll second that.
Nobody
Thank
else.
you for the vote of confidence. Good, one down, two to go.
Sent to. Oh, which side?
Okay. The next we're gonna pick up subject 72, unless you want something else to say about that.
No,
So you're also the,
I'm also here for 772,
good,
and if you would like me to take it away, I can.
please do.
Okay. 772 is a bill that came over from the House, which was making amendments to the residential rental agreement chapter in Title IX governing landlord-tenant relationship. It was making amendments in Title 13 related to criminal trespass and when can a landlord issue a no trespass order to an individual tenant's guests. And then
Yes, not, and.
correct. And then it was making amendments to Title 12 related to the ejectment process. So when you want to end a residential rental agreement, you have to terminate the rental agreement. And then if the tenant remains in the dwelling unit after the date of termination, you have to go to court to you have to file for an ejectment and get a writ of possession to then be able to have that individual removed from the property and retake possession. So there were significant number of changes to the ejectment process. And then there were a few other sections towards the end. There was language about creating a positive rental payment credit reporting pilot program with the state treasurer's office to report individuals' payment of rent as part of a credit report to help them build credit. There's a pilot program. And there was also a section in there to have CVOEO build on providing training and materials and information to landlords and tenants. I think that was it. As it initially was in the House, there were appropriations for both of those programs. The pilot program, the treasurer's office, and money to CVOEO for the training for landlords and tenants. That was stripped out before it came over to the Senate. At this point, and I can pull these up and walk you through the proposed amendments if you would like from the Senate Judiciary Committee, where the bill was first referred to. It came out of the Senate Judiciary Committee, went to Senate Economic Development, where Senate Economic Development has their report amending the Judiciary report. Essentially, at this point, everything has been stripped out of the bill, other than the amendments to the criminal trespass. And there is now added in a study from the judiciary, from the court administrator, to review what it would take, financially, workforce, facilities, what would it take to enact a dedicated residential rental docket within the judiciary. So the judiciary could have a dedicated docket set aside to hear matters related to landlord-tenant residential rental agreement and ejectments. So I'm happy to walk through the criminal trespass language if you all would like to see that, but that section would remain. And then there's the study that would remain. But if the body agreed to the Senate Economic Development Committee report amending the judiciary report, everything else has been stripped out.
And those don't sound like there's any appropriations or impact on those sections.
The two programs, the credit reporting pilot program and the CVOEO program, had language saying that the duty to implement those programs was contingent upon an appropriation. I mentioned to the Senate Economic Development Committee that neither one of them received an appropriation in either the House or the Senate budget. And, as your conference is moving forward. So my recommendation was to remove them at that point. So they're not confusing the public as to why they're there, whether or not they were funded, et cetera. And so the Senate Economic Development Committee is recommending to delete these two sections.
Okay. In the fiscal note, maybe the author, which is left, it's just like one sentence long saying there is no fiscal impact.
Correct.
Oh, no.
Does anybody have any questions? We have to use this. Yeah, this is less than the minimum.
I heard someone use that on the floor.
Yeah.
OPD.
I heard less than zero.
If nobody has questions, I'll entertain a motion to pass the bill. Okay. Bill being moved. Then we say the person that moves the motion has to report.
That's what we always do.
Who's good? There's no names on it.
No names on, there's no senators?
Up Mars.
I don't know.
Can you remember who's on the committee?
Remember who's on the committee?
Weird. In alphabet.
I think Senator Baruch,
Yes.
Senator Brennan. Yes. Senator Norris.
If I don't know,
Oh, you skipped the,
Who-
we that?
Yeah, Senator Lyons.
Yes.
Senator Norris. Yes.
He gets to vote twice.
Yeah. Senator Westman.
Yes. You.
I know.
It's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah.
I'll fill in the names later. I'm just checking off. boxes.
It was a pass. The pass thing off, to see.
Senator Watson.
Yes.
Yes.
Now. Okay, you heard report. Yeah, it was on the report. Yeah, it was. I can do that. There's no fiscal law.
That, the sentence that says there is no fiscal note.
You gotta create drama in your report.
I can do that. Less than.
Who's reporting it first? Judiciary.
Not her.
You're not doing the third bill, are you? And,
what's the third bill?
9:35.
I asked him to come early, but.
Okay. I have no idea. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we will adjourn till attorney deadline gets here. We'll take up each 9:35. Thanks. If you do have an amendment.